everyone. My name is Elaine Coelho, and today is April 19th. We're having a special program today. It's Down Memory Lane with Joe Jesus. I'd like to introduce to you our host, Joe Jesus.
Hi, good afternoon. We're going to have a little reminiscing this afternoon. We're at the Hazelwood Park Senior Center, and what we're going to do is just reminisce on what we did back in the 50s, the way it was when we had shine shoes and polished cars and girlfriends and places we went and things we did. And I also have with us today Victor Fonseca. Victor is going to be doing... Victor's going to do a little dance and spin some records for us a little later on. And I also have Dave Corey. Dave Corey goes way back also. His father owned Corey the Florist, if you can remember, on Acushnet Avenue in Hathaway Street. Hathaway Street. Yeah, more or less. Yeah, more or less. So we'll be doing a little reminiscing with all of the guys, and we want you to come in with some of your information. We'll throw something out, give us some answers, and tell us what you guys did when you were young and the schools you went to, what you wore. Remember when we went to school and we wore knickers? But our shoes were always shined, and we always walked to school regardless what the distance was, made no difference, rain, snow, sleet, or hail, and we all brought our lunches. And everybody had the same lunch, peanut butter and fluff, or jam or jelly, whatever it may have been. And today it's so different. Today the kids eat in school and they have lunch at school. Everything is done at school. So with this, we're going to get a little started. I'm going to talk to Ray. Ray's from the North End also. Now, Ray was an altar boy, went to church every Saturday. He did. Every Saturday morning he was in church. Yeah, he did everything he was supposed to do. He was very, very well known by his personality and his shyness and all the good things he did for the church and the people.
Well, he said it all. I don't have to say anything. No, no, I was brought up on Whitman Street, three streets over from Dave. And we went to the same schools. We went to Lincoln School. We went to Normandan. Blackjack gum, remember that? Used to have the little Coca-Cola bottles filled with Kool-Aid and all that stuff like that. And we used to play kick the can, you know, release, hide and go seek, all that stuff. We used to hide around the corners and smoke cigarettes, you know. But we had a ball. We had a good life. It's not like today. Yeah. We knew how to have fun, and we knew how to do it the right way, you know.
Now, you'd like to get one of the girls in.
What I remember the most of enjoying was Lincoln Park. Friday nights, Saturday nights. There was no dating on Friday night. But Saturday night, yes, and just the fun we had at the horse ring that we danced at, you know. It was wonderful.
What did you wear when you went to your dances?
Oh, gee whiz. It was dress, it wasn't pants most of the time. Yeah, skirts with a sweater, backwards with the buttons in the back and the scarf, yeah, things like that. It was a wonderful time, it really was.
Yes. Get there.
Girlfriends, yeah, we take the bus from downtown and we get to Lincoln Park. It's wonderful.
I remember the dances at St. Killian's, because they were always someone to look over us. We had, and I also remember Lincoln Park, and all walking from. We did do a lot of walking to school every morning, but we were good kids in those days, and that's about it.
to Sacred Hearts Academy 2 years before it closed. I was also in dancing school, Kay Hanley's dancing school, and she put my name into the Miss New Bedford pageant, and the nun said to me, "You cannot be in the Miss New Bedford pageant because girls who are in the pageant, you know, they could not wear bathing suits. You know, you had to have some kind of award for your brains or something. And so they threatened me that if I did not drop out, I would not graduate with the rest of the class. Wow. And I have nightmares about that today. That I did not graduate from high school, but I did. I did drop out. I went to the Miss New Bedford pageant and watched somebody else win. But I had an escort. He was a Green Beret. And I still see him today, 40 years later. Yes, I do. He is non-committal, however. But anyway, that's what I remember of the 60s, and a couple of other things that I don't want to mention. Like I dressed up like a nun once, and I went and knocked at the door, and they let me into the chapel, and all the nuns were praying. And I said, "But sister, I'm not a sister," and I think I lifted up my gown, and I showed her my saddle shoes, which is what we had to wear at Sacred Hearts Academy. That's what I remember.
Now, how long have you been going on with this Green Beret? You can see.
40 years on and off.
And you're going to rush him into marriage?
Well, like I said, he's non-committal.
Yeah, well,
But,
it's only 40 years. What do you expect?
40 years,
Give
yeah.
the guy a break.
I know, I know. Yeah, he's like in his 70s now, I guess. But that's what I remember. And this is my mother, and she doesn't want to talk.
Hi, I'm George Ladino. I go back quite a few years now, and I can remember way back in the 1940s and 50s. I had an orchestra back then, a 7-piece orchestra, and we used to play at a lot of different functions throughout the city, including weddings and banquets and stuff like that. And we traveled not only in New Bedford, but Dartmouth and Fairhaven. And I knew all the dance halls in the city. In those years, there were many dance halls because we didn't have the other places like Hawthorne or Allendale. Everything was held in the different halls. My mainstay was the Downey's Hall on the corner of River and Bolton Street. We rehearsed there, and we used to play for a lot of weddings there and different other functions. Also played for the high school proms in Fairhaven, Dartmouth, New Bedford. The name of my group was my name, George Ladino and his orchestra. And that's the name that I traveled around with for a number of years, back in the 40s and 50s. And if anybody wants to know about different dance halls, Woodrow Wilson, Hibernian Hall, Colonial Club on Rivet Street, Pulaski Hall on Holly and Ashley Boulevard, the Redmonds Hall on Phillips Avenue. I played in all those places because there were different functions and weddings at that time. And I enjoyed my youth. Of course, I was young back then, and I enjoyed that, playing and entertaining the people that we played for, and I don't regret it at all that I did that. It was a very, very nice time. Nice time in my life. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I come from Westport, and I lived in Westport for a long time. And the best thing of all is going to Lickham Park, if everybody remembers that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, the dancing was great. It was like a lot of fun there. And I spent a lot of time there. I spent a lot of time roller skating, because that was one of my big things, roller skate. The bowling was great. The small balls are good. I go now, the big balls, I go down the aisle with it. It's not my thing. So I don't know. I don't go bowling too much. But anyway, that was a lot of nice things going on over there at Lickham Park, and a lot of things. And I lived in Fall River, and I guess everybody knows Fall River, all right. But the Narrows and all that, how that was, I could tell you a big story about that one, but a lot of people know about it too, I'm sure. But I don't want to be here all afternoon talking about it. But anyway, I had a lot of fun. I remember all the good things when I was young. So that's it.
Thank you.
I'm a country girl. I grew up in Bourne, and in my life, I was before indoor plumbing. And also, we pumped our water. But life was good. And I was just wondering if you ever have the young people in when you do nostalgia, because my daughter wants me to talk to my grandchildren about life before television. Life before cell phones, life before iPods, and before people got so rude, you know. And when you went out to dinner with your children, they paid attention. But now they're into their games and everything, and it's too bad. But I just wondered if you ever have the young people in, because they really are fascinated by things that happened years ago. So do you ever have them in?
No, you know what? That is really good that you brought that up, because we talked on radio about a week or two ago about the way things were. And we lived in a tenement on the 3rd floor on Bevel Avenue, and there were 4 kids, 4 in our family. And across the way was another family with 7 kids. Now, we never had to worry about anybody staying in the bathroom very long. And the reason for that was, it was in the hallway, and it was extremely cold. So you got in and you got out as quickly as you did. And Saturdays, my mother and the other lady would warm water to put in a tub so we could take a bath. But the girls went first because they weren't as dirty as the boys. Absolutely. Same water. So, you know, and then after that, everybody went home, and then Phil says to me, "Hey, what did you guys do for toilet paper?" I said, "We had a Spiegel magazine."
Yeah.
You had a Spiegel magazine? Yeah.
I had Sears Roebuck.
Yeah.
And you didn't do the shiny pages.
That's right. That's right. You read the paper, then after you were done with it, well, this is what. And that's just how it was back then. But you know, everybody worked so close together with everybody. You know, we'd go to the stores, or remember, you'd go to the grocery store. At the end of the week on a Friday, everybody paid their bill on a Friday. Well, there was a lot of Portuguese stores, Colette and Bevel Avenue and Davis Street and all of that. And we went to Sousa's Market. And I'll never forget, my mother says to me, "Go to the store, Junior, and I want you to bring back with blood pudding." I said, "Okay." So I come home with all of the stuff. She says, "Where's the blood pudding?" I said, "They didn't have any." "Are you sure? You asked Mr. Sousa?" I said, "No." I looked on the shelf. I saw chocolate, strawberry, vanilla. You go back and see Mr. Sousa. But you know, and that's just how it was. Your word was your bond. And you met your friends on the corner, because our generation is so close is because we did everything together. Remember when you had a date? Oh my gosh, your shoes were shined, your pants had a crease in them, or if you had dungarees, they were clean. I mean, there was no such thing as dirty dungarees with rips and tears. And I remember when I went to visit, see my wife's mother, to go visit and meet the family, oh my gosh. So I went over and I was all dressed up. I had a box of chocolates, and I go in the house, and Nancy says to me, "Oh, thanks. These are not for you. They're for your mother." Because we always remember, if you make it with the mother, you got it made. She is the boss. And that's just how it was. And now we have Gail Costa that's going to tell us things about were you around in the 50s and 60s, Gail? Sure. Oh, you were? All right. Tell us about that.
My name is Gail Costa, and I originally was born in born in Fairhaven, but we moved to New Bedford, and I lived on Thompson Street at the time. I remember there was 4 of us. My sister Judy is over there. My mother, for the 4 of us, we had a rubber tub. My mother used to bail water, and like us, the 2 girls would go first, and then the boys. From there, we moved to Dartmouth. I've been in Dartmouth from 5 years old on to this present time. When we moved to Dartmouth, my father had a lot of land, and my father would plant the land, and all 4 of us kids would have to go out and pick all the vegetables and everything, and my mother would can everything. Then she also made homemade jam. We never knew, these kids today don't know what it is to go to a store and not have candy. So my mother used to make homemade candy, and that was fudge, and we used to do the butterscotch. You know the butterscotch you see in the wrappers? My mother used to do that, and all of us kids used to have to, after it came out of the pan, we used to have to roll it and wrap it with papers. That was our candy. It was either fudge or those butterscotch candies. And so I have lived in Dartmouth for many, many years. I've joined the senior councils in New Bedford, also in Fairhaven and in Dartmouth. And I think it's a wonderful thing for the seniors.
Great.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Thank you. You know, Gail was talking about emptying out the rubber tub. Do you remember ice boxes? And the toughest thing about that ice box was you had that big pan underneath, and you wanted to get that water any place but on the floor. And where did the water go? Every place but. But yeah, and that's just how it was with the Iceman, the Milkman, the Ragman. We talked. We had Charlie the Ragman. Charlie the Ragman was one great guy. Oh, that, you know what? That was my uncle's father, Gioso.
Gioso. He used to come around the streets shopping. Judge Gioso.
And who was he?
He was he used to come around the streets and shopping all the knives and scissors and that. And every time he came by, everybody would run in the house and get all their knives and scissors to get shopping. Yeah.
Now, where did you live? You live up the north end?
I used to live on Blackmore Street in the south end. Lived there till I was 17, and then
What was your dress code when you went to school?
it was skirts and sweaters. Skirts and sweaters.
Long skirts and sweaters.
Saddle shoes with socks. Yes, yeah. And that night when we come home from school, we never could go out. My mother was very fussy with us, and she wouldn't let us out at night. So we used to tell her we had to go to the library and do our homework. And we would go out to the front room, and we'd throw our roller skates out the window, and then we'd go way up on Acushnet Avenue roller skating at the school, and she never knew the difference. We never told her.
What's your name, honey?
Cecilia Sykes.
I lost my train of thought. Senior moment.
Can I turn my...
Oh, baby. Okay, give it, go ahead. She's bashful. We want to start out right now.
I'm with that other
She's
lady.
bashful.
Yes, I'm bashful. I'm with that, by the way, my name is Alice Canoia. I'm with that lady
Yeah.
from Lincoln Park.
Lincoln Park.
Oh, yes.
You seemed like you must have been very shy back then.
Yeah,
I can tell by your eyes.
Yeah, I know you too, Joe. I remember you too. And I used to take the trolley to go to Lincoln Park. But then coming back home,
Yes, you're itching.
the trolley, there was no more trolleys.
Uh-oh.
So I used to ask, no, I didn't walk.
No, I bet you didn't walk.
I would ask for a ride, and
Yes.
we would pack in the car, and really would respect each other, and we could do that, and with a...
Out of your shyness, and I know you never did this, but, like we have...
I'm sweating. By the way, I saw you on TV the other day.
Oh.
I like that outfit you got on.
Oh, thank you, baby. Before your shyness, like, I know you've always been shy, but,
Yeah.
like, did you ever go to parking places?
Never.
Like Monkey's Island?
Never. Monkey's Island?
Yeah.
What's that?
She's been there
Oh, you mean by the
many times. Yes, sir.
Oh, it was
There's a-
you parked the back
That's
of me.
right. Her name is in one of the parking spaces.
Well,
Oh,
I think that's enough.
you want a cold towel? Thank you, honey.
It was a pleasure.
It was my pleasure. Betsy Fernandez wants to say something very good about me, I think.
What's your age?
Why, what are you doing tonight?
Okay, now how do you know about Monkey's Island?
She told me.
I was here when you told her.
I don't remember that.
You don't?
I had a
I used
senior
to go,
moment at the
so
time.
either we're younger than each
I
other.
remember you from the North End, Caps.
Yeah, I remember you too.
Well, no.
Now,
Why is this always flipping back to me?
there was nothing like Lincoln Park, though.
There was
I'm gonna
nothing-
tell you.
Well, I'll tell you, I wouldn't say that. Monkey's Island was pretty close.
Yeah, but we didn't dance at Monkey's Island.
Yeah, I know we didn't. We didn't have enough
Well,
room.
I really hope my grandchildren don't see this.
You know what happened to me one time?
What?
I'm down to Monkey's Island, and a cop comes up to me and he says,
Yeah.
Joe, what are you doing in there?
Oh, he knew you.
I says, nothing. He says, well, get out and let me get in.
See, I started going to Lincoln Park at 16,
Yeah.
got married at 22, and I've got 11 grandchildren and 7 great.
Isn't that great? Good
Yeah.
for you. Good for you. That's
Married
great.
almost 53 years before my husband died.
We've been married 53 years. My wife passed away last year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See?
So,
That's why
yeah.
I like you.
Why, because I'm single? I'll meet you down the street, baby. Wait a minute, Alice has got something to say. A lot of phone calls Alice gets?
But now,
for me, though.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was for her. Do we look alike? I was getting, I said, oh boy, I guess I'll have a date tonight. And they were asking for her. They thought I was her. But I made up. When I went to the place, to Lincoln Park, I made out all right.
Did you?
That's all I gotta
That's
say.
what I heard.
That's all I gotta
You want to say any more?
say. I don't think so.
You said more. Now everybody knows you. You want to give out your phone number?
I haven't got no phone.
Oh, just go right to the door, knock on the door.
Hey, you know, well, all right.
Oh, all right. Go ahead, baby.
Well, I went to Amsterdam.
Yes.
To the Sailor's Delight place.
Sailor's Delight.
Yeah, you know, remember that place? Or you know of that place?
No, way before my time.
Oh, well, anyway. Anybody knows? Everybody? It's a red light
Oh, listen, wait a minute.
but it's legal.
We'll get to you in a minute.
But it's legal, though. And at the window, it's got a shade or
Yeah.
so. Well, I like that shade so much that I said, I'm gonna buy one, and I did.
Yeah.
So I have one in my house.
You do?
Just in case the business is bad or so.
Oh, yeah, you never
So
know.
look for the shade.
Yeah, you never know when you're going to need
Why
it.
am I saying this? Go along, Joe.
Now, all of the calls were coming in for her. Not for Yeah, it was, and she's very shy in herself. I mean, we had all we could do just to get her to smile. Would you mind just saying a couple of words, please?
My name is Bev Souza, and what I remember is my mother was a tough Italian lady. She used to be pinning them curtains up, and on Sundays, all the kids were thrown out of the house because she was doing her housework. During the week, remember Congdon Street School? She'd always say to me, you make sure you get home before the lights. My sister was always there, but not me. I got the con broom more than anybody I know, all the way up the street.
You saying
Good
the lights at night?
Oh, yeah, the
Oh,
lights.
yeah.
No.
Well, everybody had the same clock. You can
Who
play
would've-
all you want, but when the lights go on, you better be in
home.
this house. That's
Hey,
right.
all the way home.
Tell us about the phone calls.
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know.
Alice said to me one day, you know, I'm getting a lot of phone calls. And I says, really? She says, but they're not for me, they're for you. I said, well, then give them my number. Why have her number, right? We had a lot of good times. Those were the best years. They were the best years,
Yeah,
really.
they were.
Even with the tubs and all. Oh.
Yeah. And where did you go for entertainment?
Lincoln Park.
Monkey's Island, Lincoln Park.
Of course, we did it all. Hey, we wanted to do it all, right?
You know what was nice about then? When you went to the auto theater,
Oh, boy.
you never saw anybody watching the movies. But yet, as soon as the movie was over, everybody came out.
That's right, Joe.
What was the movie about? I don't know.
Those were good days. The kids of today are missing out on plenty.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
and
right.
people, too, they don't want you at their house because they're watching their stories. They'll say, oh, no, not today. I got to watch my story. Not like families were close.
No. Well, yeah, well,
My
that's how it
family
was.
was a close family.
Well, you had breakfast and you had dinner together.
That's right.
You
Today,
didn't have
forget it.
lunch because it was at school.
You're right.
And Sundays, everybody sat at the table.
And we had music at our
Yeah.
house. Every weekend, there was music at the house. They
Yeah.
all played. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was fun.
That
Not
was.
today.
That was.
Today is don't disturb. Am I
Yeah,
right?
do not, yeah,
That's
you're
right.
right. And nobody cares.
That's right,
Now,
Joe.
who's this quiet lady on the side?
Oh, she's very quiet. Tell her.
All the way around. Concept. And sidestep. Pick it up. And down.
I was a South End person, and I lived near Ashley Park and went to the Duval School. And we would come home for lunch. I was a latchkey kid. And the teachers would tell us, because in Ashley Park there was a big, big rock, not to go on that rock. Well, naturally, that was the worst thing to tell us because we immediately went on. We thought it was a mountain back then. It was so, so big. And I would get home, and we were told not to touch the stove. There was a thermos bottle on the table with the soup and a sandwich, and you went back to school. You left the house at 1:15, no later, no before. And that's the way it was. On weekends, when I was a teenager, I went to Luntz Corner Congregational Dancing. That's where I went.
Beverly was also very, very quiet.
Yeah.
They have a space, Monkey's Island, where they need one. Also.
No, I never went to Monkey's
No,
Island.
oh, no, oh. Where did you go?
I don't remember where the place
Oh,
was,
that's
but it was.
good. That's good.
It was in a lane,
Yes.
down a lane someplace in Dartmouth, and the cops used to knock on the window.
Same thing?
Yes.
Not that same damn cop.
No, I don't know, could be.
Yeah.
And I was so embarrassed that we had to leave because the cop came.
You weren't embarrassed, you were mad.
And then I'd get home, my mother would say, where did you go? And I was so honest, I said, we went parking. And my father would look at her and say, oh, well, she told the truth. And my father was a North End person, and I remember my grandmother, she had an outhouse to go to the bathroom. We would be so scared, the kids, to go out there because it was so creepy and so dirty. But when you had to go, you had to go.
When you gotta go, you gotta go.
How about the Sears catalog? The Sears catalog, if you had an outhouse.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, my gosh.
Sears, yeah,
Yes.
of course, we had the Sears catalog, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, that could go for
We put it
days.
to good use.
Yeah. Okay, now we have a young man that's also very shy and very bashful and probably never went to parking places or drive-ins, and we're having a very tough time to get him to say a word, but say a few words on.
Well, I'm very happy to be here today, and I'm very lucky that the women, they outdo the men.
So what's new?
Every place, every time I go to some senior function, I'm always happy because the ladies predominate. And I like the word predominate. Well, anyway, I was kind of put back this morning because there was something I can't understand. I picked up the paper, Boston paper, and it says that this man shot his wife, and the bullet is in her yet.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I was wondering what a yet was. Why E.T.? Do men have yets, or just the women have yets?
No, women.
No, just the women have yets, because the story says that the man shot his wife, and the bullet is still in her yet.
Yeah. She's at the hospital now, they're trying to take it out.
Well, they're gonna have a tough job because the bullet split, so she has double problem.
Do you like this?
No, thank you.
You want to say a few
I'm
words?
bashful. No.
Okay, you don't have
Very
to say it.
shy.
What's your name?
Dorothy.
Dorothy. You ever go parking?
No.
No. Good girl.
Okay. That's it. I've said my piece.
Ken is a man of very, very few words, and hopefully he will tell us just a couple of things. Ken, tell us about when you were younger.
Well, you were talking about Monkey's Island a little while ago, and, well, I was down there parked with my girlfriend one night, and Joe Hathaway and Vado came down there. As well, you probably know them. And they banged on the window, and they asked me, you know, why my girlfriend was in the back seat and I was in the front seat. And she was in the back seat filing her fingernails, and he says, well, you know, what are you doing? He says, well, I said, "So, I'm waiting for about 10 minutes. He says, why? I said, well, 10 more minutes, she's going to be 18 years old. So they just left and left me alone.
You do any auto theater stuff like that?
Oh, yeah, we used to load the trunk up.
Oh, yeah.
Fairhaven, Dartmouth, you know.
How about dancing? Where'd you guys go dance? Now, up north, we had St. Killian's was a big one for us kids, up north. And during the day, hanging around, we hung around at Pete's Luncheonette near Bailey Square.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what did you guys, where were you from, north, south? You don't remember?
Southwest, really. Southwest, really. Cottage between Allen and Dartmouth.
Oh.
Street. And we used to go roller skating down here at the
Cushnet
Park
Yeah.
and the Green Park.
Green Parrot.
Over the Green
You know
Green
what?
Parrot.
Whenever I talk to anybody about the name of the roller skating rink, it was Mount Royal.
Yeah.
But everybody remembers the Green Parrot.
Green Parrot.
Must have been a hell of a lot of more beer drinkers
Well,
around.
no, it used to move. That's why. It looks like the Revere horse.
That's right, yeah. That was a lot of fun. Good. We have had some pretty interesting stories here this afternoon. And I'll tell you, Kenny is smelling his flowers over there. He thinks he's back in teenage years. We have another guy that's really shy. And when I say shy, I mean shy. Go to it.
Yeah, my name's Dave. I'm not from New Bedford, I'm from Acushnet. So I don't know what went on in New Bedford except Johnny's restaurant. I remember going to Whirly's Pavilion.
Whirly's Pavilion.
Down the Sconneconet.
Yeah.
And they used to hang around Voss City and Wareham. But we used to hang around mostly as Pop Casey's in Acushnet.
How about Whirly's Pavilion?
No,
Tell us about Whirly's Pavilion.
That was
because
nice.
For those that don't know about Whirly's Pavilion, it was by Pope Beach, was it?
Yeah, it was a big deck outside
Big
and used to
deck.
dance out there. All the guys used to pull in with their cars and everything else, yeah. We had a great
Bowling
time.
alleys on the
Yeah,
side.
yeah, we had a great time down there.
Yeah. They were really, really fantastic, yeah.
Yeah.
And they own Whirly's Bedding.
Right.
That's up on
Polk Town.
Fairhaven Bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fairhaven Bridge. Really a nice family, but that was the biggest get-together back then, Fridays and Saturday nights. There was also another place that a lot of guys and girls used to go on Saturday nights, Fort Phoenix. Fort Phoenix, remember?
Yeah.
It was all country music. Yeah, everybody'd be out there in country music and singing and dancing, and they had hamburgers and hot dogs. And it was a Saturday night that everybody totally enjoyed. You ever
Right.
go out to that?
No.
You ever went out
no,
to Fort
no,
Phoenix?
No.
Whirly's was great, but there
Whirly
was
was
so
good.
many other places that just hang around. We talked about, corner stores, Pete's Luncheonette and stuff like that, and I'm sure there was some all around. And Johnny's restaurant was good. Now, what was great about Johnny's? Tell us what was great with the booths. When you had the little
With the
booths.
little
Jukebox.
jukeboxes that's on each booth. Yeah. Yeah.
And we had so much fun because you had the big jukebox, but you had the little ones in each booth, and you'd get like 6 songs for a quarter.
They usually have it downstairs in the cellar, the main one in the.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I think that was the difference between the kids of today in our generation, where we could relate to one another. You're going down the street, the buses were always full because there was only one car in the family. Your father had the car and everybody else walked. And now, today, it's so completely opposite. But when you see a friend, you pick up your friend, you take him downtown or wherever he was going, you see a nice-looking girl on the corner, you pull over, hey, baby. And what happens if you do that today? You're going to jail. But there was just so many more things. And I think it was all due to respect. Because you dressed, when you went any place, you went to church, you dressed. You went to the doctor, you dressed. You went downtown, you dressed. And and if you had a hole in your jeans, you look at that poor person. Doesn't even have a needle and thread.
Yeah.
And that's just how it was. And you look at today, and I think even back then, we always had holes in our socks, but it wasn't from our toes. It was because the shoe leather was all worn out. So the ball of our foot was always had a hole in it.
But in the Acushnet, we used to have the most strip joints.
Oh, you certainly did.
And when we were younger, we used to walk down the street to the rear cabana and peek through the window.
How about the other one?
Kettle.
Hangers.
And the hangers, I knew the hangers very well.
Yeah? They got your name on the door.
Well, I used to hang around with the owner.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the Bergerons.
Yeah, that's just how it was. Everybody was just, it was just togetherness. It was one big family, and everybody enjoyed everything. But we want to go over on the side here for a little while. I want to talk to Dave Corey, and I want to give you some memories of what things were and what some of the prices were, and then join us and add into it on whatever you feel that you saw, you did, or what took part in your family. So with that, I'll take a break, and we'll go over and meet David, and we'll continue it in a minute.
Something good is happening in this city, and it involves the color blue. Ma'am, I notice you have a blue bin in front of your house here. Why is that?
Because it makes me feel good. By recycling, I'm doing my part in preventing pollution and global warming.
Well, I notice you have flattened cardboard here in your bin.
Oh, but more as well. You can recycle old newspapers, magazines, catalogs, and old phone books, as well as cans, soda cans, and 2 types of plastic, number 1 and number 2.
1 and 2. Well, is there anything left for the trash man?
No, not really.
When you recycle, the trash man takes less trash to our landfill. If everyone in the city recycled, our landfill would last a long time. Just set your blue bin out on your regular trash collection day. Fill it with flattened cardboard, newspapers, magazines, phone books, metal cans, glass bottles, and now all plastic containers number 1 through number 7, as well as office paper, junk mail, and plastic bags. To request a free recycling bin, call 508-979-1493 today.
Join us in making New Bedford a cleaner place.
Recycle more, New Bedford!
Your choice to recycle can affect more people than you think. Call Marissa at 508-979-1493 to request your free recycling bins. This message was brought to you by the City of New Bedford and UMass Dartmouth Charlton School of Business.
Oh, I just went on with a big spiel to talk about, it's all over and all of that. And then Judy was over here, and she's very shy. She said, if you don't put me on, I am going to be really mad at you. So I want to get on TV. I said, Judy, hey, I don't have any more time. She, well, you better find time. So this is Judy.
My name is Judy Cambro. I was kind of a tomboy when I was younger.
I never believe that.
I was. That's my sister. That's my sister over there. And I used to play all kinds of sports, basketball, baseball, the boys and everything. But I loved to dance. And where I used to go dancing was at the Y in New Bedford.
Right. Yeah. We forgot about the Y.
My father used to bring me every Friday and pick me up at 10 o'clock. Shop. Said, be out there waiting. Yeah, he was very strict, my father, but I seemed to get away with a lot of things with him for some reason. I guess, I used to duck and hide. He used to send my brother out. But
you don't seem like, you don't have that personality that would duck and hide and stuff.
Yeah.
You seem like you're very...
Ask my sister. Oh, no, I was a little quiet, but anyways, I used to go, and then I went to Lincoln Park. I used to go skating on Saturdays. My father used to bring me in there and pick me up there too. And but he let me do most of the things I wanted to do. But when I got a little bit older, he used to send my brother out looking for me. And like I said, we used to go, when we were real young, we used to go to my grandmother's every Sunday, and we'd play cards, and the family would get together, and we had good times. We had a lot of good times. And like I say, we were very a close family. We still are the ones that are living. Of course, I got a brother that's passed away, but my sister and my brother and the family's pretty close. So, like I say, we had a good. And then when I was real young, I was real tiny, short, and everything. So I used to get in the movies on Water Street. Yeah. We used to have the movies on Water Street. And and I used to go down, and I used to get in like, cheap, because even when I was like 12, 13, I was short and small. So I used to get in real cheap, So the things are so expensive now. It's not like it used to be.
What did you do when you were at the movies? Did you go up like in a balcony at the outfield?
No, I never did. No, I never did. I was on American Bandstand, though. I did get on that.
You?
Yeah,
Good for you.
I did get on that. But, because like I say, I always like to dance, and most of you know that I do like to dance. But, I always did, and my sister, too. We all
what did
did
you
dance.
do for excitement? Auto theaters, Monkey's Island?
I did go to the auto theaters, I did.
You ever watch the movie?
Well, sometimes. But no, I did go to the outdoor. Those were nice. I like the outdoor. I like to be outdoors more than indoors, really.
Good.
I'm kind of an outdoor person, but anyways, and I used to go down to Jones Beach. I used to go down there because I come from Dartmouth. So.
Did you go there at night?
I stayed there all day. I stayed there all day.
Okay.
I did.
You answered that.
Yeah,
that was good.
I used to play sports, and I'd go swimming down there.
Indoor sports. Yeah, she loved outdoor sports. Yeah.
So we spend most of my time down there.
Sure you did.
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Yeah. And you know why I'll never forget her? Many, many, many years ago in the 3rd grade, and I hope you don't. I hope you remembered it. In the 3rd grade, I was chewing gum, and the teacher asked me about gum, and Ellen squealed that I had gum in my pocket, and she gave me a big rush. You remember that? I do. Never forgot it. Every time I see her, she lived 3 houses up on Collette Street. And every time I see Helen, I was so mad at her because she wouldn't squeal on me. And that was only 70 years ago. Dave Curry and I go back many, 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 many years. David is sort of a shy guy also, but once in a while he'll talk and you can't shut him up. But today, I just want to introduce David. And David, give us a little background on basically what you were doing, the business your father owned, and go on from there.
Yeah. First of all, I'd like to say it's been a pleasure watching you work the room, Joe. If they'd let you, you'd go on till 4 o'clock. But that's okay. That's the way you are. You missed your calling. Yeah, I grew up on the north end of New Bedford, a couple of streets away from Joe. My father was in the florist business, which I didn't care for. I was called a pansy once in a while because my father was in the business. But closer? Okay. And I've known Joe for 100 years, and I heard a lot of people mention Monkey's Island. But I never heard anything about Monkey's Island North, known as Church Street, where we used to all go parking, right? Okay. That was fun, too.
Church Street North Road.
Right, that's right, because now it's like an industrial park all the way through there, you know? But, yeah, things have changed a lot. I heard about Johnny's Restaurant, which we used to hang around in, and I heard the Kettle mentioned in Acushnet, which they used to have good music there. Of course, Lincoln Park, that's everybody's favorite place and all that, you know. But there were a number of places, but the one I didn't hear mentioned, and I don't know if anybody knows about it, I don't know if anybody's listening right now, but anyway, does anybody remember the Mexican hat?
Oh, gee, yeah.
That's one that hasn't been mentioned, the Mexican hat, Ray. Huh?
Ray used to go there often.
Right, yeah.
Well, Ray was always there.
I want to know how 500 people used to go to Monkey's Island. There wasn't that much room down there. Of course, but later, the west side all the way down was Monkey's Island too, you know? But yeah, I know, Joe, you really like playing this house. I love to watch you work. You missed your calling. But it's really fun. I didn't know what was going to go on down here today. I came down because Joe and we talked on the radio on Wednesdays and all this. And this is fantastic. I had a great time today. Right. Ran into a couple of people I knew. Bev Souza from when I was at the school department. Hi, Bev.
Hi. This is down memory lane at the Hazelwood Park Senior Center. It's our first event. We thought it was really fantastic. We hope to do more in the future. And I would like to say, Elaine, you've done a great job putting everything together. Elaine is the director.
No,
and she's
the coordinator.
Coordinator, I'm sorry. And she's done a tremendous job. Lydia's done a great job over here. She's very bashful and doesn't want to say a word. Victor Fonseca. Victor was a great job, as you all seen, with the dances. He comes in every month, Victor?
Every week.
Every week he
Every
comes
Tuesday.
in. And Ray just likes to join everybody and dances.
That's right. I think Victor's trying to kill us.
So we'd like to thank everybody, and we will see you again in the very near future.
Bring it up.
Bedford.